And, of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Down. Jefferson. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run on 2nd down with Adams. And he'll get this one up to the 26. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, Wagner. And he's caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 2nd down now, it's Adams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd.
Watch the pass.
From the gun, Wagner. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. To throw on second down. Wagner. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down.
Check.
Operating from the gun. Wagner. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
On the ready. Mike's by four. Hey, come on now. Watch the twist. Shift. No. Off. Shift. Check.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And finally taken down at the 26-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, there's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have them pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
Under 10. 10.
On 1st and 10, Bird. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
12 yards there. First down, Vikings. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you to school. Check 37. Check what? Check your hot read. Check 24. Check 24.
First down. Here's the run with Cook. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Check 3.
Looking to throw on second down. Bird. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
To throw on third down, Bird. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
On first down, Benjamin. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Second and 14. Rodgers brings it in. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, Wagner. He's going to look deep down the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Throwing on first down. Bird. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sack back at about the 43-yard line.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's second and 21.
Hey, check. Mike 50, Mike 50. Push him back. Hey, push him back. Zoom. Here we go. 50. Mike 50. Check.
Back to throw. Bird. He's going to look deep for more. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and it's third down.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball, meaning a 50-50? The ball's in the air, defender's there, receiver's there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, the defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
Throwing on third and long. Byrne nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On first down, this is Adams. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Throwing on third and long. Wagner. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is brought in at the 21. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've just...
It's caught at the 10. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 56 yards. Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
You better be afraid of me.
They'll run with Cook. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They try again with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
You ready?
At their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script play.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 33. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0.
Next to score, Vikings 21, Lions nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Let's go now. Hey, no. Right. He's telling the right. Four there.
To throw on 3rd down. Wagner. That's taken in by Callaway. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken around the 12. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check pass.
Off the play fake. Bird. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 36. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 53. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
they need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Bird. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The throw over the middle taken in. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Bird setting up the screen for Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 19. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
Back to throw again. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Off.
From the gun, Wagner. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Back to throw. Bird. Trying to improvise. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down. Then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. That's complete over the middle to Callaway. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
First down, Detroit.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's get it go.
They'll run on first down. It's Adams. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
Operating from the gun, Wagner. That'll be caught by Rodgers. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. They'll run again with Adams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On first down, Wagner. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. Got it complete to Rodgers. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Lions on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. On third down, they go with Adams. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no
yardage. Okay.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. 22. Check. Bravo. 22. Check. Bravo. Bravo.
To throw on 2nd down. Bird. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. They get 14 there. First down Vikings. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Throwing again. Wagner. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 3rd down, Wagner. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
He's checking credit. Look, motion. Reset.
On 1st down, it's Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz,
it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
All day, every day, any day.
Second and 1. And this is caught off a deflection. This will wind up a loss on the play.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
The Lions on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Check 6 guys.
They'll try and pick up the first down with Adams. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. On 1st and 10, Wagner. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and it's knocked away and incomplete. Antonio Callaway, the intended receiver, and now it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
On 2nd down, it's Adams. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6.
44, Mike.
From the gun, Wagner. And he's got Rodgers. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You just tried to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Off play action. Bird. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. taken in at the 22. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic.
Back to the air on second down. Wagner. And now here is another interception. He's picked off near his own 48. And some room to roam now. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They go quickly here out to Moore. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here we go. Slam.
To throw again. Wagner. Throw complete there. Rodgers. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
Lucky.
Operating from the gun, Wagner. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday.